everyone, it's your boy Deluxe Dave, and for those of you that are obsessed with music, movies, and TVs from the past, you have come to the right place. This is Nostalgia Battle, where we take two different nostalgic things that can be people, movies, TV shows, and then we discuss the two things, and then at the end of the battle, one of the two things that we've discussed is gonna remain supreme. Remember, this is for fun. It is all for fun. We live in a world with so much division already, and there is room for everyone to live and be successful beings. So let's get right into the first battle.
Battle 1, Jaleel White versus Raven Symoné.
Jaleel White, of course, is most famous for his role as Steve Urkel on the 80s and 90s show Family Matters. He has been acting since the age of 3 and started out in commercials. One of his most famous commercials was the Jell-O commercial with Bill Cosby. One cool fact is that he auditioned for the role of Rudy on The Cosby Show, but basically because Bill Cosby wanted Rudy to be a male and changed his mind, eventually the role ended up going to Keisha Knight Pulliam. I couldn't have seen it any other way. I loved that Keisha played Rudy. Speaking of The Cosby Show, the person going head-to-head with Jaleel in this battle round was one of the stars in the last few seasons of The Cosby Show. Miss Raven Symoné started modeling at the age of 2 and auditioned for the movie Ghost Dad in 1989. She was 3 but was considered too young for the role. Supposedly, Bill liked her so much, he actually cast Raven Symoné on The Cosby Show as Denise, or Lisa Bonet's, stepdaughter. And needless to say, she was a hit. Oh, side note, one of my favorite episodes on The Cosby Show was called Nightmare on Stigwood Avenue, which was like a dream sequence episode that focused on Rudy and Olivia having a back and forth quarrel because the family can't see that Olivia is evil. Such a great episode. But let's get back to the topic at hand. Although their careers were phenomenal as young children and they have extensive resumes, we are going to be discussing their breakout roles. Jaleel had his breakout role at the age of 12 as Steve Urkel, and Raven's at the age of 16 for Raven Baxter on That's So Raven. Don't get it twisted, Raven was working hard after The Cosby Show ended. She starred opposite Mark Curry on Hanging with Mr. Cooper and was in major motion pictures such as Dr. Dolittle 1 and 2 and in The Little Rascals. The reason I've chosen these two was because of both of their undeniable comedic acting within their breakout roles on Family Matters and That's So Raven. Let's break down the different characters they played during their show's run. Of course, Jaleel played the famous Steve Urkel, which was a clumsy, nerdy, kind of dorky guy that actually moved next door to the Winslows and wasn't actually introduced till the end of season 1 and became a main cast member in season 2. He also played the famous Myrtle Urkel. This was a character that was used in Family Matters from season 5 till the end, and they really leaned in on this character to kind of carry the show through the last 5 seasons of Family Matters. Whoever came up with that idea of Myrtle Urkel basically saved Family Matters from going down the drain and lasting a whole 9 seasons. We also were introduced to Myrtle Urkel. Myrtle Urkel was the female Urkel that came from Biloxi, Mississippi, and kind of started to show up a lot more in the last few seasons of Family Matters. A great fact about Myrtle Urkel was that Jaleel White, when he was introduced to that at a very young age, playing that character, he actually was really afraid and scared to play the character. But I guess when they say show business is show business, he had to put that dress on and get out there and do what he had to do, even though he never really wanted to play the character of Myrtle Urkel. He also did the character Elvis Urkel, if you remember that, where he stepped into the transformation chamber many times to change himself into some of these characters, which were Elvis Urkel, Bruce Lee Urkel, Albert Einstein Urkel, and there are a few more characters you might not remember because they only showed up 1 or 2 times on the show, which were Cornelius Eugene Urkel, which was Steve's real hardcore thug type cousin that showed up on one of the episodes. Also, Steve Winslow, if you don't remember Steve actually turning into a Winslow for a day when Laura became an Urkel, and also Urkelbot, which was like the robotic version of Urkel. I'm not sure if he was Urkelbot in every scene, but he may have played certain parts of that because of the walk and everything like that. Now, Raven also has a whole bunch of characters she played also. A lot of them were not like Steve's character. They are different and separate people from the Urkel character, so they're kind of separate from who Raven Baxter was. But Raven has played, of course, Raven Baxter, the star of the show, which was not a far cry from Raven, but she does have a different personality than Raven Baxter in real life. She played the fortune teller. She also played Coffee and Cream, which was a character that her and Chelsea played on the show. Also, she played an entire extended family. If you don't remember that episode, I believe it was called Kissing Cousins, where she played all of the family, just like the Nutty Professor, which is such a task to take on. I know that episode was hard to film. She played a mall cop. She played Sunshine, the poetry person that set up on the stage. It's the most hilarious character. I loved Sunshine. She played Lasagna, which was like a fashion designer on the show. She also played Tanya Baxter when she impersonated her mother and went to the school. She had on like a fat suit, and if you don't remember that episode, that's another great one. She also played another slew of other characters on That's So Raven that I can't even mention because it's so many. Now, Raven has always had a very Lucille Ball type formula for her acting. I tell myself all the time, she is the present day Lucille Ball. Jaleel being able to pull these characters together and keep Family Matters running for such a long time, which is 9 seasons, not discrediting any of the other cast of Family Matters, but he was part of the reason for the show's success. We gotta say it like it is. Think about it. If Jaleel had not been added into the cast of Family Matters, where would the show have gone? There wasn't much that Family Matters was able to really capture in the first season. Yes, it had a more serious tone, but there needed to be a lot more comedy to the show. So I feel like he was a perfect addition for the cast. Raven also had an extremely great cast for That's So Raven. From Annalise Vanderpool, who played Chelsea, to Orlando Brown, who played Eddie, it made for really great TV. They had a great cast on That's So Raven. So between these two, both Jaleel White and Raven Symoné, who do you think wins this battle? It's now time for the big reveal. The win for my first nostalgia battle is Raven Symoné. Now let me explain to you why Raven was my pick. In my opinion, Jaleel had some really great moments with the roles he played, and I feel like he got better as the show progressed. I also feel a huge responsibility rested on his shoulders to carry the show. Raven had a lot more time to grow into playing the role of Raven Baxter and developing her confidence over time. She was 16 and fell right into her role. Her comedic timing was impeccable, and she came out of the gates giving us laugh after laugh. I always say timing is everything. I feel like Jaleel was thrown into that cast and he had to learn to adapt so he didn't overshadow any of his castmates that had been there from the beginning. Because again, he did not start in the beginning of the show. He was added into the show as like an extra, and they loved him so much and he got so much reaction from the cast that they ended up keeping him on the show. That's a lot for a 12-year-old to take on, whereas Raven came in knowing who she was. She knew she was the star. The show was named after her. It was created for her. So she was able to have a stronger grasp on her responsibility within the show. You can definitely tell by the progress of their careers. Raven went on to do The Cheetah Girls. She went on to host The View, and had a spinoff, which is Raven's Home, which is a spinoff of That's So Raven. They are currently starting the 5th season in March of 2022. Raven's focus is undeniable. I love her as an actress. I even had a chance to meet her on the set of Raven's Home recently in LA. She was super serious but focused, and I can understand she's been in this business forever and is still thriving. I understand her a lot better after watching TV One's Uncensored. She really let us into her life and her struggles along the way. Raven is def a force, and I hope that one day she can retire and be happy and go enjoy her life. It would also be great to see TV1 do an uncensored about Jaleel White so we can really get into like how his life was also. I would love to hear his true story also. Well, that wraps up my very first nostalgia battle. Let me know what you thought about this battle and what other battles you would like to see. Remember, it can be movies, TV, or music. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, please hit the bell for notifications on when I put out new content along with brand new battles. Till next time, remember, it's a friendly battle, but somebody's taking the crown. Till we meet next time, bye.